Welcome. You're listening to the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. Join our epic pro staff around the Sonic Campfire for stories and adventures from our eastern mountains to the Chesapeake Salt. Let our highs and lows inspire you to take to the outdoors.
All right, welcome back, guys, to the Sonic Campfire. This is the Rutten River Pursuit podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm Ryan, by the way, and we're going to go around the table, see who we got with us tonight.
I'm Catfish.
I'm Uncle Buck. I'm on vacation.
And I'm Stevie.
Oh, Stevie.
Guys, how are you?
Hi, Stevie.
Yeah. Whopper plopper.
Whopper, Stevie.
Say pudonk.
Fishing. Badang in your badonkadonk.
You got his dialect down, Greg.
And a walker stick.
High tech.
Say scooter stick, with or without.
I am impressed.
Man, my kids. I don't know. I just.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good impression right
It
there.
was good.
Yeah.
The indecisiveness.
I need more time. I need more time to plan it.
You don't get
You gotta plan it.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
Now, here's the thing. I know that that's not Stevie's voice,
we miss you, Stevie. Hurry up and get back here.
but the voice does sound quite familiar.
It is familiar.
Oh, hi, everybody. It's Leanna.
Lady Leanna.
Lady Leanna's here.
It's
Hey, Leanna. Oh, there's a reason. There's a reason why we have Miss Leanna here.
I can't.
Just take it easy.
Oh, I gotta keep it together.
You need to keep it together for just a couple minutes.
But
I got to find out.
But wait, there's some new stuff around the table.
I got to, before she loses it, we got to just talk real quick about anything we got new going on here.
I'm not sure she'll be able to wait. It's too new and too exciting.
I'll edit it out. Just no big deal.
She keeps hitting me. I should have sat on the other side of the table.
Phil keeps taking off.
It
clothes.
Grow up, Ryan.
doesn't have anything to do about hunting and fishing, but I got a funny story from this week.
Oh, do tell.
And it's new. It's one of those happy, funny, everybody laughs at you when you're frustrated stories.
Laughs at you or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So the place where I work, they throw these big, amazing, really heavy-duty Rolodex cabinets, 6 foot tall, adjustable shelves, adjustable storage bins, and of course me, I like to reuse everything. And all I can see is,
you do.
For the first time in 20 years, I could be organized.
Oh,
Use, reuse, and hoarder.
Yeah,
interchangeable.
Well, this is the reason I need the Rolodex cabinets.
Instead
is
of your Six Sigma, it's Catfish Six Sigma.
Yeah, my hoarding stuff can go in the Rolodex cabinets, so I can put it somewhere.
It's organized hoarding.
Yes, it was. And this
cabinet is hoarding.
These are nice. These are nice cabinets, like they're hospital grade cabinets, and there must be 20 of them
on dollies.
Yeah. So they'd put them out back. Of course, I asked for permission a little bit, and then I stacked a few of them by the shed out back, put 2 of them on a truck. Only 2 will fit at a time in my truck. So I decided to stack them all nice and neat by the shed, and they have a giant rollback, which is a big 8-foot tall steel dumpster-looking thing that has a big door on the back of it so you can walk into it, and they're loading this thing. Well, they loaded the ones that I wanted. On my lunch break, I went out in a 100-degree heat and dug 3 of them back out and put them against the shed. So that took up most of my lunch, and I ran down to the truck for a few minutes, and I heard a really loud noise, like a crashing loud noise. And normally that's the dump truck that picks up the regular trash bin and dumps it in the bed, that loud crashing noise.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. Nope. I was only gone 10 minutes, half an hour in the heat to dig them out. Gone 10 minutes, walked back over. The maintenance guys came outside and threw all the ones I just dug out back in the dumpster and then closed that 8-foot steel door and put a lock on it. I was really kind of perturbed that I did all that work and they threw them back out. Now, I don't think it was fictitious. They're like, they go in a dumpster. I didn't put a note on it, so it was my fault. But I was perturbed enough, long story short, that I went inside, complained a little bit about it to my coworkers in a frustrating manner that I did all this work and was sweating out at work. And nope, 2:30 came. I went right back out, climbed up over the 8-foot dumpster.
Nice.
And dug them back out and had to put them up over top, down, and stack them back by the shed. So that was 10 times more work than my lunch break. And So long story short, here's the point. I come out after work, and I put them in a truck, and I take them home, and there's 2 left. And I think they got the point this time, because when I come into work the next morning, the other two were there. And but then I got called into the office, say early morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, man, they're going to complain about the dumpster thing.
Uh-oh.
And then before I got to go in the office, the maintenance guy come over and said, hey, Shane, you can't climb in the dumpster. They got you on camera. I'm like, yeah, I got a meeting or something with the boss, so I'm sure. Yeah, so it's all good. So anyhow, it wasn't about that. It wasn't nothing horrible at work. It wasn't. But the whole time I was like, man, I'm going to get fired for digging trash out of the dumpster.
Dumpster diving at work.
But here's the thing. The end of that story. Will saw it. You guys helped me put some of them in the garage. They actually work. My thought process of what it could be turned out to be a good thing because it's looking pretty
like
good.
Night and day.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
I like it.
It's clean.
I've got a night and day story.
Organized.
Go on.
I got a.
How long does it take? Night and day?
And no, it might take 2 minutes. I have a Lazarus story.
It's not a night and day story.
No,
it's more like Sleeping Beauty.
This is a Lazarus story. This is Awakened from the Dead.
Sleeping Beauty.
You're going to need a frog to kiss a prince?
No, we don't even need a frog to kiss a prince right now. We have an 18-foot bass boat, guys.
You need a water pump.
It's up and ready.
Oh.
We're ready to fish, boys. We have an 18-foot bass tracker ready.
Nice.
So what Phil is telling everybody is that he has had a bass boat for quite some time that has needed tender loving care.
It's just sat.
And that's the problem. They get gunked up and blah, blah, blah.
In a garage.
And I'm proud of you. You did a lot of work, and it's back on the water now. It's registered. It's running.
It's registered. The trailer's good.
Buried. It was
little does he
buried
know.
under.
I told you earlier I got the new battery for my bass boat.
Uh-huh.
Little does he know I just went over and stole his new one out of his bass boat.
Nice.
The cranking battery or the deep cycle?
Both of them. I'm not going to leave without one of them.
So here's my question for you, Phil.
Yeah.
Can that bass boat that's now up and running tow my kayak?
Oh.
Because I'm not getting out of it. When I'm fishing from a kayak.
The way I look at it is it's like the U.S. Navy. You know how the submarines are out there?
Here we go. That's getting deep.
They have sub-tenders that replenish the subs.
Uh-huh.
I'm the R2 kayak tender.
So while we're out flathead fishing out of the kayaks, he's running back and forth to the dock getting us pizza and
Nice.
monsters.
Live well.
All I heard from that was R2 Tinder, and I thought that'd be a great dating site, wouldn't it? Like outdoors people for outdoors people.
I
I
can have
think
the
we
smoker
touched on that
there.
once before, but
I could have the smoker on there.
We
could
use
be
R2
smoking
Tinder to
lunch.
light
No, you
Sonic.
We could have
can't.
lunch and dinner.
Here we
on
go. Already, you got to read your regulations. You can't have a smoker on a boat.
there. Okay, a gas grill.
No.
It has to hang off the side of it or something, right?
Yeah, you're not supposed to have any kind of flame, open flame on a boat. Now, here's the thing.
Don't
We're in
ask, don't
Pennsylvania.
tell.
What a
Don't ask, don't
buzzkill.
We're in Pennsylvania. We do it anyhow. But,
But they'll deliver to a dock.
Oh,
To
absolutely.
a boat launch.
oh, yeah. Oh, Goldsboro Marina, we got pizza delivered there all the time while we were fishing.
Why do we need to do that when we can fry up our own fish?
I'm just busting you. I'm happy your boat's out. I can't wait to cook on it and fish from
Guys,
it and tender on it. And
I have been so fired up because this boat is ready. I like what I'm looking forward to is November when I can finally take you to that crappie spot. Now that I've been telling you about for the last 3 years now.
yeah,
say crappie spot?
I've heard about it once or
Yes,
twice.
I can't
Yeah.
wait
Will Carp be there?
if he chooses to be.
There would be carp there with carp trying to fish for carp fishing for carp.
all that I've ever
He'll be
caught out.
soft mouthing whatever.
Oh man, he will be.
I'm bringing a whole can of corn. I'm on it.
I can't wait till you get your kayak fishing tournament jersey that says Madeira on the back with
Mad
carp
carp.
down the sleeve. Mad carp. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Working on it.
Madeira.
So, I mean, do you trust it? It's been sitting a long time because floating down the river
We're
in
getting
an
ready.
older boat type of thing and not working all the kinks out.
Test drive this weekend.
We could end up like in a survival situation real quick on one of the islands.
Well, I'm already going to get instead of my little 3-foot paddle, I'm going to go ahead and invest into a kayak paddle that I can break down and fit inside up.
That's a really good idea, Phil.
You know, God bless you, Catfish. You're trying to pretend that was my idea, but that was actually your idea.
No, I'm picking on you. It was a good idea. We had a good idea. We'd come up with it together.
And well, I had stated that I needed something bigger than a 3-foot paddle because it was hell by myself. And Catfish said, "Get a kayak paddle now. That way, if you need a paddle by yourself, you have a 6-foot paddle.
Yeah.
Or if you have
3-footers.
2 guys, you have 2 of you paddling then."
See, he actually thinks I'm helping him out. I'm playing chess, not checkers. What I really need is a new kayak paddle.
Yeah.
So
it's a good plan.
I'm going to stop back over next week and steal the paddle instead of the batteries out of the boat.
Leanna, do you have anything new?
You know, it was just another great week. Did a ton of cooking on the Traeger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What was it that we put on there this weekend?
I tell you what,
I remember what it was. We did smoked brownies.
Yeah.
We did our smoked
That's right.
brownie Sundays.
I loved seeing you in the new Traeger shirt that was
Isn't that
a little
fun?
big for you, but the way that you tucked it in just right, you were rocking that Traeger shirt.
I had my own wardrobe assistant. Will put his knee in the middle of my back and gathered up all the extra material, tied a big old knot around his arm, and
For you guys that have never seen Miss Leanna, she's little, and she had like a 4X shirt on.
3X.
3X shirt. Yeah. So
it was great. Yeah, and we tried some of the new sauces that Traeger has out. That was pretty awesome. And then just another normal work week. Mm-hmm. What about you, babe?
I mean,
you got a new toy.
I got a new toy.
I love
It's always nice to have new toys.
that new toy is awesome.
Phil got his old toy refurbished,
Yeah.
and
I got a new toy. Compliments of the Uncle Catfish Armada.
That's the next set of stickers we got to come up with, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm making room for new ones.
I love
And
the
more-
word armada.
More
That's
stuff.
the R2 Armada.
See, that's the only bad thing about getting organized is I have room now for more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I can put more stuff in there.
Yeah, it freaks you out a little bit when you have that much room.
But
to walk.
remember, you wanted the room so you could do projects. So I'm gonna be your
it's
devil's
true.
advocate.
Will got what I honestly believe with my years of experience in being on the water with kayaking. I honestly believe Will got what is the kayak or the Cadillac of kayaks. It's a little heavy. It's a little too heavy
Which
for me to move around. But
I
you're
don't care.
No, you're stronger than I am, so it's very doable for you. But once it's on the water, it's like a Humvee / Cadillac. Yeah, it's nuts.
It's completely decked out, and that's one of the reasons why
It's custom, that's for
it's
sure.
custom done. It's got it's got the transom for the prop and
Your stand-up bar.
stand-up bar.
Sweet.
All kinds of it's just decked out.
And in other very technical terms, it's a rad color of orange.
It's R2 orange.
R2 orange.
So here's the thing. I believe you're the only guy that I've ever seen out in all the time I've ever been out with an 80-pound trolling motor on the back, an 80-pound thrust trolling motor on the back of his kayak because the thing rocks and rolls by itself.
Pop a wheelie.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So I'm happy.
It planes up.
I'm happy that we kept it in the family.
I have an 80-pound thrusting trolling motor on my
18-foot aluminum bass boat.
exactly.
So you can imagine what that'll do.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Want to race?
No. You probably create a bigger wake than I do.
And that's
Because of my size.
we're gonna even make it better. It is a little bit tough to steer it with your feet, and it's because of how strong the trolling motor actually is. It's not because it won't steer real good. It's just you're pushing against it, pushing on the water. So, and the calf muscles are a big deal, which I don't have any. So,
Oh, mine are just like it's the only thing that's ripped on my body.
yeah, my calf muscles
Your
are
calves.
tiny, little puny calf muscles. I don't have any.
Your calves are diesel, man. Diesel.
Thank you.
Calfzilla.
So
That's all I have new.
yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, my left thigh is hurting because Leanna keeps punching me. She wants to get this thing rolling.
Let's do it, Ryan.
I think you're right.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, but I think it's time now to get our guest on the line. I want to talk to Samantha Ohl.
Oh, I can't. She's here. I can't. I can't. I just.
Do you have her number?
Well, I actually got it from Aaron.
Yeah.
When we had him on.
So
we can get her on.
Okay. All right.
We could do this.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
It's
real technical.
Sounded very official. I like it. Samantha, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
There she is.
Oh,
she's here.
Fangirl moment. Fangirl out. Oh, Samantha. Oh.
Leanna's going to have a meltdown here.
I can't. I cannot.
So, this is awesome. We've had Aaron on the line, obviously, and in the earlier goings. Oh, I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but it was awesome. We got introduced to Samantha Ohl. We figured out very quickly why Aaron has any kind of popularity.
Right.
She catches his fish.
And their kids take all the pictures.
Yes.
So,
Simple formula. The math
Aaron gets the model credit.
Aaron's the pretty face in the family. The family does the work.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah, I wish he had a little bit of chance to say hi. I know he's busy studying and doing Aaron Ohl things.
I doubt that. He's probably eating popcorn right behind her.
Is it? we love the Ohls here at the old Sonic Campfire.
Ohl fans, huge
so
team.
That being said,
yeah, for people that don't know, they're Pennsylvania, just a hop, skipping, and jump across the Appalachian from us. So.
Yep, Keystone Outdoors.
Yep.
And Samantha has an amazing life story, which I think we're going to get to at some point. But there's some significant news coming out here about her very recent situation, or very.
I'm with you on that, Ryan.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Samantha's ever since we figured out that she is the fisher person of the family.
Yeah, she likes it. Yeah.
And I've been impressed. Like every day, I really anticipate checking into your life, Samantha. I'm sorry.
Phil, is she your spirit animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, Samantha Ohl is one of my spirit animals.
She's your
probably.
spirit animal. I knew it.
Take some inspiration from her. I tell you what, hats off to you, Samantha.
Thank you.
You're almost inspired Phil to start smacking tractor tires with a sledgehammer. Almost. He's not there yet.
And putting on a weight vest.
It's a great workout. I tell you what, it is. It's something that can't compare to going to the gym and lifting a weight. Serious.
Well, I mean, one thing that could compare to that, like Catfish was pointing out to me earlier, between the two of us, we get pretty tired just looking at your pictures.
Absolutely. I sit at work all the time and go, man, I should really work out today. And then I flip up Instagram and go, Samantha Ohl. I feel so much better about myself now that I've worked out.
Yeah.
Just looking at the
She burns
pictures.
your calories.
She
as
does.
you scroll.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, people ask me at work, what are you doing? When I'm sitting on my phone, I'm like, I'm working out. Just checking.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sweating to the ollies.
I see what you did there. I see it.
That was impressive.
I think we should turn this over to the girls' night for a moment.
Well, yeah, what we need to do is we need to talk about this recent news that needs to be shared. But I don't know about you guys, but personally, I don't feel comfortable being the one to announce it. I want superfan Leanna to take over right here because she's having a meltdown. Go ahead, Leanna.
Samantha Ohl, this is the biggest news. We've always wanted you on this podcast, but we quickly accelerated our hot pursuit of you when we landed on your Facebook page earlier this week and found out you are starring in next season's Discovery Channel Naked and Afraid. I can't.
That is exciting.
I cannot. Samantha, you don't understand. Every Sunday night, Will and I just snuggle in, turn on the TV and just watch horrified in terror of two poor souls in some god-awful remote location. Listen, I travel a ton of places in this world for my job, get inoculated with all kinds of stuff, but guess what's always underneath my feet? Concrete. So, and I have a business suit on my back, but I have always wanted to know everything about this show, participants on it. I have a bunch of tactical questions, so do the guys, but I have a huge strategic, big question for you, Samantha. Why? Why did you do this?
It's a big why.
Well, sometimes I asked myself why, and then, actually, I started out. I used to watch TV. I would watch TV, and I'd see the channel Discovery, and I'd see that show, and I'm like, man, these people are crazy. Like, who would really go out there naked? And my husband also agreed with me, and then, I mind my own business, keep on going. And then, I'm on Instagram, and I do a lot of outdoor stuff, so I'm constantly doing hashtags. And for some reason, this one week, all of a sudden, I kept getting hit with this company, a casting company, and I'm like, who is this? And they were like, you should apply or try out for our show. And I'm just like, who is this? And I click on the link, and I'm like, oh no, it's Naked and Afraid.
Oh no. Why couldn't this have been America's Next Top Model? I bet they eat less on that show, though.
Our master chef.
Yeah, I'm like, time out. So I'm like, all right. I look at it, and I'm like, cool, this is awesome. And then I told them, let me think about it, and then I gave it a couple days. Next thing you know, the next thing I get a message on Facebook, and I'm like, oh man, they are serious about me. Because they found me on me and my husband's page, Keystone Outdoors, and I'm like, oh crap. And I finally was like, all right. I talked to my husband. I'm like, well, what do you think? And he's like, I think you're crazy. And I said, I know. I said, but do you love me? And he's like, yeah, I love you and I'll support you. So,
isn't that the best wife card ever? But don't you love me?
I applied, and next thing you know, I'm on a plane, and here I am getting a physical and waiting for my day to leave, and that was just really how it all came about. And then I finally started trying to find a reason. I'm like, all right, well, they found me, so now let me take this and use it as a positive thing and be like, why am I going to do this? So I figured out why is because I have 4 kids, and what is a better way for my kids, well, minus the naked part, is showing them that I can do something and accomplish a goal in life. I mean, I've already accomplished other goals, being in the military and doing that, but they were one of my main things. And to be honest, I'm very competitive with my husband, very competitive. And I told him, I'm going to do this. I'll show you. I can do this. And He's like, I believe you. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, don't worry, I got it.
How long did you and Aaron train for this then?
And what type of training did you do for it?
I trained, let's see, I had about a year out, which I trained myself for about a year. And honestly, the training I did was, I wouldn't go out naked, but I'd take myself out and I'd walk barefoot out when we go fishing or when we would go out in the woods. I'd always take my shoes off, get my feet conditioned. And then I had a gravel driveway. So every day I was walking up and down my gravel driveway barefoot just to get my feet conditioned. And then I went out, killed a couple snakes, hooked the snake, tried it, and then I started eating bugs. I would go to the creek, find some crawfish, and I would be like, I should cook it, but I was just like, you know what, I'm going to eat it raw. And
nice.
I ate a couple crawfish raw and
crawfish cat.
I have a question about the feet conditioning. The other day, and this is no way am I comparing myself, but I took the garbage out my bare feet.
I've stepped on a kid's Lego before, and I'm out. That's it. I'm done.
I was like, I honestly asked myself, and I think that you're in a unique position to answer this question. Like, how long would it take for me to be like Cody Lundeen or something, where I can, where I can walk pretty much and without pain?
I tell you what, I still had, even doing what I did when I went out and it was time, my feet were in pain those first couple days, because it was like, I trained myself on the rocks, but the territory was completely different from what the rocks I was on. There was thorns. I still remember that. It was just painful. Like, I was, for the first time, I'm walking down and I'm like, oh God, there's a thorn in my foot. And I'm swearing up a storm, and I'm just like, oh, this camera's so big. I'm like, God, get off. It's like one of those, I conditioned as much as I could, but you know what? And you can condition yourself all you want, but when you don't know where you're going, and until they throw you where you are, it's just like game on. I was just surprised.
Okay.
I was like, I thought I was ready.
I want to keep you right there in that frame of mind right now, Samantha. What was going through your head when they said, we're here, get out, get naked, you're going? What was going through your head right at that very moment? Like, insertion. Oh my God, this is really happening. This is not a dream. This is reality.
My heart was racing. I still remember I ate my last meal while I was sitting and waiting. They let me eat before they threw me out. So I'm sitting there.
I got to pause you. What was that last meal?
It was some kind of cold sandwich. I don't know. It wasn't nothing great, but I was enjoying. Oh, it was chocolate bars. So.
That's my girl.
Chocolate bars and a sandwich. So I'm like sitting there eating them, and they're like, "Hey, let's go." And I'm like, "Oh God, this is really happening." And I kept playing that in my head, and I'm like, am I really doing this? Am I really doing this? And then finally I was just like, you know what? I'm doing it. And that's, I guess, the kind of the person I am. It's like, I don't give myself much time to think. I'm just like, all right, you know what? Time to do it. Let's go. So
that's awesome.
It was an oh crap moment. I will say that. I was like, man, how do I meet this person? Like, what do I do? And you
don't know anything about this other person
Great
at
question,
all,
Phil.
do you?
No, I had no idea who my partner was. I had no idea where he was from. It was like a blind date, and you're just so scared.
And you're like, please make him be a SEAL. Let him be a SEAL.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I've watched the show, and I'm like, all right, here I am. I'm the military woman. I'm like, who is my partner? Like, I'm just thinking, and man, it's a total spin. It's pretty awesome though. They paired us up pretty good. I mean, two different people mesh pretty well when it comes to living, like trying to survive. If they put all differences aside, surviving is the main thing. You'll make it.
So you think that they do a good job of pairing to complement each other because it's as hard as it is, it's to help give you as much potential success as possible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was great because they're not trying to set you up for failure, you know? It's all positive. So like they match you up for a reason.
The Jeep drives away and you're like, wait! Wait! Give me my shorts back.
It's just one of those.
I'm sure that they do. They have to think that through to try to set you up for success, but at the same time,
they want some drama.
They're also going to be looking for potential drama or points of conflict. So there's going to be maybe some personality traits that they know could rub somebody the wrong way. So, and that's all. Really, I mean, it's understood.
And you as a viewer, I think you as a viewer, you want a little bit about that drama, but you want it to go the 21 days.
Oh yeah,
like it's artfully.
You root for
yeah,
them.
it's an artfully crafted.
I root for every single person to go 21 days on that show, just because it's like get it, do it.
Yeah.
Because Samantha, seriously, psychologically, I want to know more than just because somebody called you up. I want to know, what dark corner were you dancing in to go on this trip? What demon were you after inside of Samantha Ohl?
I was trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
To who?
I'm
kids?
an alpha.
Okay. All right.
I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha female. So, I always like to be on top, and I like to. I'm not saying I like to outdo people, but I like to be the best and strive for the best. So, when opportunity for me comes where I can do something awesome, I take it. And I wanted to prove to my husband, and I wanted to prove to the kids, everything's possible. And then, for me, I used to get a lot of grief from a lot of mothers because I'm always outdoors. I'm always hunting, or I'm always fishing, and I kind of wanted to just show these people in their faces, like, hey, look what I can do, and I'm still benefiting my kids. I'm not doing anything to harm them.
Yeah, you're a lioness.
So,
That's what you are. You're a freaking lioness, honey.
Total
My
next
husband
level.
will tell you I'm a lioness.
Yeah, you're out there hunting. You're protecting your kids. You got it. I mean, that's why I've got the secret crush on you. I mean, you
not so secret now, is it, Phil?
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Samantha, in most sincerity, from a son of an adopted son of a family of Cherokee descendants, you're a squaw. You are, in the most endearing term, you're a squaw.
I want to be a squaw, so thank you. I don't know. I'm a very motivated, and I love living life not on the edge, but I just love going out there and doing things. And I already loved being in the camera, working with my husband. We do a lot of filming with our hunts, and we're always doing some kind of filming or just photography, and I love doing that. And when you're good at something, why not just go do it?
That's awesome.
Samantha, so you just had your last meal. The Jeep drives away. You've literally met your partner for the first time. That is so freaking cool. I honestly thought they orchestrated that for TV, but that is so cool. And then here comes my very first silly tactical question. You get that map out of your bag. I swear to God, Samantha, that looks like that's a map from someone's coloring book. Was that map, is that honestly helpful? And is that literally the only wayfinding device that they give you? Do you flip that map over and there's much more of a terrain layout? But I swear it looks like you pull it out of the Sunday comics or something. Tell me about that the map moment.
The George Schultz map.
Me and my partner, we pull the map out, and we look at what's in our terrain, and I'm like, man, this looks like the map from what is it, Captain Hook?
Yes, yeah. That's a great way to say it, a Captain Hook map.
And I was like, this is real, but I mean, it was a legit map. It was just a not cartoon, but it was mapped out to be able to help us, in a way. And the key point, is they give you minimal resource. So they let us know in the map, dangers and whatnot, but we're on our own after that. We look at it and we assess where we can go possibly that would be good for us to live and survive. So, it wasn't, one of those, this is just a pretend map. But,
so it was helpful.
But you're saying it wasn't to scale.
It was helpful. but it wasn't, it definitely wasn't to scale, because, you know what? When I was trekking for the second or third day, I went trekking just looking to see what was around, and I saw the biggest poop ever. And I'm just like, oh. God. I said, that is a bear.
So it wasn't from your partner?
You don't know what his last meal was.
No, it was.
Maybe he had a bunch of blueberries and
it was
sassafras.
It was alpha fauna.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, if you'll indulge me, just a few other silly tactical questions. You know, I'm dying to know about the first night. Do they really leave you alone?
Yes.
No, Samantha.
No, listen, you are they're there for us for the first 2 hours, and then you know how it gets dark and they're like, see ya, and you're just like,
we're going to the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, it was when they left us, that's when I knew it was real. I was just like, oh man, this is really not a joke. This is for real. Like, they're just here to look at us and film us, but they're not here to help or anything. So that first night, it was really scary and intense for me.
I'm pretty sure the reality would have sunk in for me when I pulled my skivvies off. I'm just going to throw that out there. But
that's when
I
you
see
would
what
have
you're saying.
initially
The sun goes
scared.
down, and now you're finally like, oh, this is real. But okay,
she's way tougher than you are.
Well, clearly.
We got past the meet and greet naked, and then the next step is oh crap, we need to figure out how to survive right now.
Yeah.
And I went into I was in full panic mode, internally, because I'm just all right, we need to hurry up. And it was horrible because we didn't get a good initial entry that day because it rained and it was not on our side, definitely not on our side. So,
oh my goodness. Well, a lot of these other thoughts come into my mind where, you watch some of these episodes and you see what appears to be close encounters with the wildlife in the region that you are. And we talked about that magnificent pile of poo. But did you get to engage with a lot of wildlife? And were there moments where you're like, I am not the top of the food chain? I had maybe 2 or 3 moments with some wildlife, and my first encounter, I was just trekking and I saw some wild boar, and here I am. I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to go spear this thing.
Yeah.
I went and tracked it down. I was trying to track it, and that thing ended up having a couple babies, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess with you. And that was it was a really intense moment because the mom kind of looked at me and she's just like, what are you going to do? You're going to come after me? And I'm just like, no, thank you. Turn around. It was intense. And then there was another time I was out in the field during sunset, and there was a deer out there, and it reminded me of Pennsylvania. And
homesickness.
Those were kind of some intense moments. And honestly, I love hunting, I love fishing, but I also enjoy the moments I get when I can be facing up with an animal, just staring at me and not moving. It's so meaningful to me. It's hard to describe why, but I feel like, I know this sounds weird, but sometimes I'm like, man, is that my spirit animal or something?
No, it doesn't sound weird.
It's just this weird connection. Even when I go hunting with my husband, when I shot last year, I shot a doe, and she was walking. She had her baby behind her. The mom looked at me. The baby looked at me, and I'm like, they see me. But I'm like, well, in my head, I always am like, thank you so much for what you're going to give me. And I shot her, and it's not that I'm doing it just for fun. I do it because it's helping me and my kids, and it's just so much more meaningful, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I sound crazy, but
it's an
Samantha,
inexplicable thing.
The youngins at that time too, and people have to know the youngins at that time are they're old enough to survive. They're kind of just like hanging out at that point, and probably will be bred, just a hair later in the season.
2 months later, though.
Yeah, that'd be the second rut or whatever. So I mean, they're not babies, but they don't look that far off,
But
yeah.
So I understand what she's saying. Absolutely.
I'm right there. I'm with Samantha.
You've folded a handful of times.
Yeah, you've had to tell me exactly what you just said. I've heard that.
I said,
before.
Phil, how much deer meat is in your freezer? And he's like, yeah, but they were just so cute. And I thought he was going to tear up. And
grow up, Phil.
There it was.
That's a good one.
Come on, Phil.
Get you some, bud.
Samantha, I think of you
Take
sitting...
a lesson from Samantha.
I'll kill that freaking deer veal now. That's for sure. But Samantha, it's a life, and that's where I have utter respect for you and where you're coming from and understanding it. It's thank you, God, for giving me this deer that
super quiet, face-to-face moments where like you're there, with them face-to-face, and for all intents and purposes, you're invisible.
Yeah, and during that whole experience, I took survival as, this is what I need to do, but I also, I use that experience as how can I grow into loving what can I do out here that's going to make me embrace the outdoors more? What can change me or, help me grow into a better outdoors woman or to teach my kids, So I took that as a learning experience. And my husband, he's taught me so much. He's taught me so much in the outdoors world, and this was my chance to be like, this is a little something different than what he's taught me, so now I can teach him something, So that was another reason I really enjoyed this experience. I came back, and I was able to teach my husband and teach my kids really cool things that I've learned just being out there.
Okay, I'm going to break the glass here. You brought up Aaron. How did he feel about naked and sleeping and survival sleeping?
Well, it took him a couple weeks to get over the fact that this was really happening, but he was very supportive in the fact that he knew that if we needed to survive, there may have to be that. But that's my one thing. I was so strict about that. I was just like, no, I don't care if I have to be cold. I don't want you touching me.
Yeah.
I
total
was like,
respect.
No, I love my husband. Yeah, I was like, I don't care. I love my husband. I don't need to cuddle you. It's cool. So don't worry, we'll survive. So I kind of drew that line as the first thing. And I promised my husband, even though he thought I was crazy, I said, I'm going to do that. I said, I'm drawing that line right there. I said, nope, no way. And he was like, man, you're not going to, he's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, no, I said, I'm not doing that to you. And I'm not doing that for my internal respect. No, because you're my husband. And regardless if I'm seeing another man naked, but I'm not going to go that route.
How quickly did that wear off? Like that oddness of it?
Because that's something that's put on by society now.
Some of us work in the medical field and this and that, and it doesn't even
phase us.
Doesn't even register as anything kind of. But
I have boobs, you have boobs, she has boobs, I have something that hangs out down there, you don't.
Thanks for explaining that.
There's nothing that looks good.
That's
nothing
a pretty
to
good description, Phil.
I'm taking notes here, buddy. I need you to slow down and repeat some of that.
But that's really yeah. Let's go on.
Who is it that doesn't have boobs again?
I do. I know that.
No. It literally took me about 3 days
that's
to
way
get
longer
over
than
the
I
fact
thought.
that, yeah, it took me to
I
get
thought
over
it'd be
that
like
I was
after
being in front of another man naked. At first I was like, all right, I'm cool, just move on. But then, there's times where you get to think, where there's a little downtime, and you're just like, I started feeling guilty, and I'm like, oh no. Like,
I thought it'd be like after the first splinter. I thought it would be like after the first splinter. You just whatever, you're so focused on the foot pain.
But then after that, it was just like whatever. And there was some pretty funny times where I feel like this is so awkward. Like, don't bend over.
I've seen enough of that laundry sack all for the last week.
Corn purse.
Yeah, there was some awkward moments where I'm just like, don't sit like that. Like, I would sit all cross-legged and like ladylike, and I'm just like, stop.
Whip an old stump at it.
Well, Samantha, I hate to change the subject here, but I think I will. I am impressed always at the times when they turn on the diary cam or the perspective of the participant.
Yes.
How much were you encouraged to really take your direction and really your point of view on some of those shots? Did you have a shot list every day that you needed to complete, or was it really anything that you could choose?
It was anything I wanted to choose to talk about. And it's a good point that you brought up the camera. I use that as my diary. This sounds crazy, but I also pretended like I was talking to my kids. If I started getting down, I would put that camera on and pretend like I'm telling my kids how much I miss them and telling Aaron how much I love him. It was my journal, and I really hope they really show a lot of my like emotion, because I can be quite stern and not emotional. So.
I learned a new word this week. Introvert.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what?
What's crazy?
Extrovert and introvert.
Yes.
Yeah. And the difference between the two.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm one.
It's crazy.
And everybody else is the other one.
I define myself as an introvert, and I like to think I am an introvert. And when I tell people that, they're like, "Well, how could you do that show?" And I'm like, "Well, it was in nature, and I was alone, and no one bothered me." And, just because I'm going to be blasted on national TV now doesn't mean I'm not an introvert still.
In the moment, you don't think about the television and what's going to come 9 months later.
No.
What I was getting at with the whole naked before was that's a whole new level. I mean, going out there in a pair of shorts and a T-shirt with no implements or whatever you 2 things you can bring, or 10 things, depending upon whatever reality show. But then to make you do it without clothes, I mean, that brings it's a level of psychological mess around with there, for lack of a better term, and then it pushes the limits, because you've grown up in a society where if you're not clothed, then you're wrong. But wrap it all together, taking your clothes off really adds a whole new pitfall to the whole survival issue, let alone if you were out there like Les Stroud or like the people on Alone or whatever, with multiple tools, with clothes.
Oh, yeah. And like I tell people that ask me today when I talk to them, I'm like, I looked back, I went back, I'm like, what did my ancestors do? I always say that. I'm like, what did they do? They were not clothed. How did they survive? They survived. And the funny thing is we're talking about the society and the clothing. My background, where I come from, is my family's from Malaysia. And this is a fully closed country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of threw myself out there doing this. And I told my dad. My dad was like, what? And I'm like, I'm going to go do this. And he's like, wait, with no clothes? And I said, yep, no clothes. And he's like, with another man? I said, yep. And he's like, he was mad at me for a little bit. He got over it.
I think
he became supportive.
He'd probably be mad at you doing it with Aaron.
Yeah.
When at first he's like, oh, okay, with Aaron? And then I'm like, no, kind of not, Dad.
Uh-oh.
Here's what impresses me, Samantha, is the fact that you don't always, you can go into any kind of situation thinking that you're prepared the best that you can be, knowing that you're not. But you always find some kind of survival tool that's inherited in you that you didn't know that you had when the time comes. And what I'm saying by that is you actually used the camera, believe it or not, as a survival tool. And by talking to your kids and talking to Aaron through the camera, it's a survival instinct that you use to comfort yourself. And the camera now became a tool of your survival. And that's very highly impressive. It was an instinct of you to comfort yourself, and to be that creative, to use that process is highly impressive to me.
Speaking of...
It did. And
go ahead, Samantha.
Well, another thing, and we'd always have wrap-ups, see how the day went, and I took this whole experience with being open, because like I said, I'm an introvert. I took this experience and I said, you know what, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be honest with myself, and I'm just going to tell it all out, because I'm not ashamed of anything anymore. And it was mentally a very good experience for me. Between being in war, between leaving the kids during deployments, between, all that past, it was simply amazing how mentally clear I came back.
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
And that's the thing I was going to say. Like, I don't want to air dirty laundry, but honesty with yourself, is that a process that you're working through? Is it?
Still am. Every day.
And I love the fact that you challenged yourself. That's something that these guys around this table do for me. They challenge me.
I was going to say, half the time they're holding me back.
You honestly think that?
You challenge me, Phil.
All right.
You challenge me. No, I know what you're getting at. I was making a joke.
I know. You guys challenged me.
I got you.
I think that's what bonds us all together, though, and this is why we're so into this interview with you, Samantha, because
I honestly think that this show would be good for you, Phil, because you are a psychological genius / mess /
all of it.
You wear your heart outside your sleeve. You give it to most people freely so they can step on
back.
It. Yes, clothes are holding you back. And I agree with Samantha. Real quick, I wanted to say that the clothes wouldn't be an issue for me. I don't care about being naked. I like working in a hospital or me being. It don't faze me. But not having shoes on my feet, the barefoot with the injuries to the feet type of thing.
Yeah,
that would get me.
She had a year to prepare.
Yeah, that psychologically would bother me. Would not having the shoes on my feet would be the issue.
Go ahead, Leanna.
I have just so many more process questions, and I feel like the shallow jerk here. I'm not really into the whole deep thoughts here. I'm just dying to know, how resourceful did you have to get? What surprised you the most about your surroundings, and what tools and other things you were able to create? You've got a lot of time on your hands, a lot of things to do during the day, building shelters. What are some of the surprising things you were able to get resourceful with?
One resourceful thing I will say, and I'm going to be straight honest, is when I went into this, I said, man, I'm not really expert at making fires. But you know what? I am so confident in making a fire on my own now, because that's what I did. My partner was the one going in there and thought he could do it. and I was the one that did it. And I tell you what, that is the best resourceful thing I had did that whole time.
This makes me sick. It's one more thing Aaron doesn't have to do. This whole process is just jamming me up.
Perfect.
Oh, how handy did that little bag become too? I watched like towards the end of the 21 days, some people turn their bags into like bikinis and hats, and that burlap bag.
Well, one thing I did know, I was not going to do, I was not going to waste time and make clothes. I was past that phase. I said, we're already naked. You've already seen me. Why am I going to clothe myself now? Like, it's okay. So I used the bag to actually just cover my butt when they would follow me around during the day. I'm like, man, they are like right behind me. Let me put this on my booty. I'm serious. Like, I didn't have a good self-image about myself, so I was like covering my butt, and I'm like, man, I don't want them staring at my butt on TV. And then I kind of used I used the bag for hair tie. I'd always take a piece, tie my hair up, and honestly, I used it as to keep me warm at night. I used to put hot rocks in it and place it on my belly and keep my body warm.
Smart.
So, I mean, I used it for a couple different things, and gathering. It was putting all the berries and doing all that stuff. That was like my lifeline with my bag.
That's awesome.
I wanted to take it home. So sad.
They wouldn't let you.
No, I was sad. I was like, you kind of like grow so close to something. I was like, oh, this is like memories.
I would think you would earn that bag to take home.
Did you name it?
They were so beat up. They were so beat up. It was not even. I used it to the death, probably, until the day I left. It needed a bath.
You had mentioned the crew, and that's one of the things, that Steve Ranella and a few other folks from outdoor shows mention, is that their crews are almost nearly have to be up to the performance level that you all are. Those are also long days for the crew. How was the interaction with the crew, and any surprises there?
Very minimal. They were very minimal. They stayed their distance. All they did was film us. They didn't really communicate. They were there to do their job, basically. No help, no nothing. I will say they were very respectful. They did not eat in front of us and did not drink in front of us. That was one of the, awesome. Very respectful. I saw from the corner of my eye, I saw a water source, and I was like, I saw them wanting to drink it, and I'm like, I see you over there, but I'm like, whatever, because I got plenty water source over here. So
it actually makes me think a little bit higher of Hollywood for actually hearing that.
Yeah, they were great. They were nice. If there were moments, honestly, if there were really downer moments, they would talk. They would help you, not walk you through, but they were very supportive. They wanted you to finish. They wanted you to be successful. They weren't just filming you to see you lay there and not be successful. They were there to encourage you, but also do their job at the same time. So it was awesome. I mean,
all right.
Quite honestly, I grew close with my producer, and I still chat with them, and it's awesome.
Now, do you feel like they were encouraging you to go the 21 days so they could get 21 days of content to make a better show, or do you think that they were genuinely encouraging you because they wanted you to attain that goal as a person? I think I read people kind of well, so this group, they wanted us to finish.
they wanted to see success, not just for 21 days to make some content. They wanted to see it. They were encouraging. They'd be like, so what are you going to do today? And I'm just like, well, I don't know yet.
Well, everybody roots for the underdog, and I can't say that walking into somewhere naked with nothing, you weren't the underdog. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't want the best for you.
But in today's age, what the current flavor of the media, that's refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I asked the question. That's what I wanted to know personally. And that makes me even more of a fan now of Naked and Afraid.
Sure.
I got to ask this. What was the very first thing you ate after your time was
Great
finished?
question. That's a great question.
What's the very first thing?
I had I think it was, I don't know what kind of steak, but I had a giant steak with, what did I have? Potatoes and some vegetables.
The old 96er.
I got down on some steak that night. Man.
There ain't nothing on that plate but gristle and fat.
I had a bellyache.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I ate too much, so I had a bellyache, and definitely had to watch what I ate for the first couple days when I got back.
To retrain.
Yeah, you have to.
What was your re-entry like? You even putting clothes back on must have felt odd.
It was awkward. I was back in society, and I'm like, as an introvert, I'm like, oh man, I'm back in the world. I was like, I'm not ready. It was kind of like how I felt when I come home from deployment. I'm like, you're anxious, anticipating it, and then you're just like, oh man, I miss it. Like, it was one of those moments. I'm like, oh, I miss the solitude. It was hard. It wasn't too hard to adjust back because I was very excited to see my family. Don't get me wrong. That was the greatest part about this at the end. But it was really hard to just get back in the groove of normal life. Like, get up, shower, do your normal, eat food.
Anybody who's ever spent enough time by themselves alone in the wilderness whether it's a few days or a few months or, if you go through any kind of hardships where you have wins and losses, it'll always be with you. Like there's a little part of that never goes away, that you'll miss. And I'm real happy.
Oh, definitely.
I'm real happy for you that this was a good thing for you.
Well, guys, and I'm telling you right now, I have to actually back away from the table a little bit because I know Leanna's about to beat me up. We do have to try to come to an end here at some point. And I would be remiss.
Could part 1 be just coming to an end and we can have part 2 through 7 with Samantha?
Absolutely.
I would agree with that, Leanna.
But honestly, guys, I would be remiss, and I think we all would, if I didn't just take a moment right now, though, to say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to get into.
You mentioned the deployment,
yes.
and I was actually wanting to talk to that at least to some degree about your service. But unfortunately...
Oh, thank you. No worries.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but we're definitely going to get you guys.
What
real
branch?
Quick, exactly.
What branch did you serve?
I was in the Army. I was active Army for 6 years.
What was your... Is it AIS?
I was...
Is that the correct...
I was a communications specialist, and what I did was maintain secure communications throughout military bases and while we were deployed. And then I got bored with that, and then I went and started doing guard and tower duty and doing more security things.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of got my hands into a couple things that I really enjoyed. So I was in Iraq twice and then Afghanistan for half a tour.
So that's 3 foreign tours of duty that I'm comparing.
And pulling security work.
Yeah.
On top. So Aaron doesn't even have to get up if there's a bump outside at nighttime around the house. Like she's like, I got this.
Listen.
Sickens me.
He tells me I'm like the military police. He can't hide nothing. I'm like FBI.
That's awesome.
Well, Samantha, this has been an incredible pleasure. Do you know your air date? Are you allowed to tell us when the show?
Yes. My air date is August 13th, Sunday night at 10 p.m.
I'm canceling work the next day.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not doing it. And viewing party, I'm going to tell you right now, viewing party right here at the R2 Studios.
We're going live.
Don't feel obligated to show up, but if you show up, oh my goodness.
We're going to go live.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll make you all the steak and taters and veggies you want.
What do you mean?
You'll have another bellyache.
And Samantha, what she means by steak and taters is a 3-course meal with some like a moose,
minimum
Salisbury steak, a bear roast with a venison loin.
Last time I was here, we had some kind of cucumber ice latte dessert, something.
And you loved it, by the way. Saw you come back for seconds.
I did. I threw the first one right over the fence.
Peanut butter reduction.
Oh, no, it was great.
Thank you. This was amazing. Congratulations on, back to why you said you did it all.
Yeah.
Congratulations for proving to your kids, proving to your husband, and most of all, proving to yourself. We're thrilled. We cannot wait to see you on Naked and Afraid. Thank you so much. Don't be a stranger to R2.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And, thank you for your support.
Samantha,
until September, August, I'm sorry, when you release that, where can everybody follow you and keep up with what you've got going on your day-to-day?
Let's see. Right now, everybody can follow me on Instagram. It's Instagram.com/Samantha_Ol. And then everybody can find me on Facebook, and that's just Samantha. Well, it's Samantha Bach Ol, but if you just put Samantha Ol, you'll find me.
OHL.
And,
yeah.
Yep, OHL. And also, our website is www.keystone-outdoors.com.
Samantha, thank you for. I'm gonna make a pun here. Thank you for bearing all here.
That's great.
Bearing all. You've given us much more than what you did for Naked and Afraid. Even though you were naked on that show, you provided us an unclothed look at your psyche and what went into that, and you gave us so much more than what that show will show us about you. Thank you so much for being as honest and open. I look forward to many more encounters with both you and Aaron, mainly with you because we know that you're the talent behind the show.
We're joking. We joke a lot. We love Aaron.
We do love
Aaron. Was awesome and continues to be that. I appreciate you guys. The whole family are forever in our hearts and huge friends of consider us 8 best friends.
Let's get our kayaks together.
Yeah, we need to. I just got that new canoe Frontier. So
and that was something that I didn't even get onto. Thanks for sharing that video of your friend with that kick-ass Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine canoe there. I had to show it to Catfish. I thought that was some of the coolest stuff around, and I'm just now getting my beak wet in this kayak world.
Yeah, and that's how I know she's coming back, because we need to get to talk about kayaking.
We have to talk about kayaking.
I'm telling you, episode 12 through 7.
All right.
Samantha Ol.
So, Samantha, stay on the line.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up the show. Guys, how can they find us?
Okay.
They can find us on www.ruttenriverpursuits.com, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Search for @R2Pursuits.
Yeah, Rutten River Pursuits or @R2 Pursuits. Guys, it's been awesome.
It's been great.
Put your clothes back on, Ryan.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were all doing that. I feel weird and out of place.
All right. Peace.
Hands off. That's my survival tool.
Thanks for listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. Follow the R2 Pro staff by searching Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next episode, we need to see you in the outdoors.